Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. This is the 90 Degree Show brought to you by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. I'm your official Marching Podcast announcer, David Thompson, and here's your host, the Phantom Podcaster himself, Joe Beard.
All right, so I don't hear Joe on here, so I guess he's being muted right now. So I guess I got to kind of do like I did a couple of weeks back. Well, welcome to the 90 Degree Show, everyone who's listening. This is Rashad Prune Juice Waters coming all the way at you from Durham, North Carolina, proud graduate of Hampton University, also CEO of Block Band Music and Publishing, your company where you can get your band directors, you can get all your music. You can get all your spats, your gloves, your flags, your shoes, your mouthpieces, your reeds, your drill, pretty much everything that you need for a marching band. We are here today, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about the events of the weekend. What a great start to the marching band season. A battle between Bethune-Cookman University, Tennessee State University, a battle between Prairie View A&M and Texas Southern University, a battle between Florida A&M University and Mississippi Valley State University. A lot going on this weekend, and we've got a lot to say. So let's go ahead and get started with the one that everybody's waiting on, Bethune-Cookman versus Tennessee State. And the main thing to say about that is I have no idea what to say about that because there have been no videos posted on the fifth quarter as of this time, 8:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll go ahead and just move on to that. Although move on from that, I just will, in closing, say that was, I'm sure it was a battle, an epic battle, because I know the battle last year was just fantastic. And I can't wait to see the videos from this year. Maybe we'll talk about it again at another upcoming show. In the meantime, let's talk a little bit about Texas Southern versus Prairie View. So I think that was a good matchup. Texas Southern, a much larger band right now, not a lot bigger, but probably about an extra third of the size of Prairie View right now. I found this to be a battle between two pretty evenly matched bands. I watched quite a few takes of the fifth quarter battle between the two. Both bands, all sounded pretty good. Although I will give hats off to Prairie View A&M. They do sound a little bit better. You hear less people sticking out. You hear, better tone quality overall. I mean, not to say that Tennessee State sounds bad. I mean, Texas Southern sounds bad. But Prairie View edged them just a little bit. There's no doubt, though, that Texas Southern is powerful. Everybody knows that, though. Texas Southern cranks, that's what they do. And so they're bigger than Prairie View. So there's no doubt that Texas Southern sounds absolutely just mind-blowingly powerful. However, Prairie View sounds a little bit better. Let's talk about the shows here. So our Texas Southern show first. Wow, pretty good show from the start. I love the drum major entrance coming out with the chalk in their hands, really saying, hey, look at us. That was pretty cool. The entrance from the sidelines and then going into the drill. Good song choice, a great sound on the field. Texas Southern's flaw right now is in the drilling. Their drill itself was good. Pretty cool formations. I like that. I like how the drum majors came out to the center and started doing their thing right in the middle of the symmetrical formation that they did. and the band changed from marching regular tempo to half tempo. But just the actual execution of the formations was just not very precise. It wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't precise. When you're in a conference where you're looking at bands that, are the epitome of what a great marching should look like, you can't be half-stepping. You gotta throw down. So that was kind of, weak point for them, but overall it was a great show. Texas Southern's flaw in their show really was their dance routine. When you got down to their dance routine, it was okay. Now, granted, I had to watch a video of that somebody else had posted, so we are all, a subject to whatever they thought to record at the time. And, we spent a lot of time on the drum line. And, of course, drum line's not dancing, But on the same token, during the dance routine, drum lines can be and should be interesting. And you just didn't see that with Texas Southern's drum line or with their sousaphone players. So if you weren't immediately just sitting there looking at the wind players, then you were kind of bored, honestly. So that's why I thought there. At the end, they did a tribute to Martin Luther King with the forming of the Dream on the field. That didn't sound very good. Got to clean that up a little bit. Didn't sound as good as the things that we had heard earlier in the show. Great show up until that point. We got to that point, not so much. But hey, it's the first game of the season. We've got a lot of time in order to get that together. Let's see here. So let's go ahead and talk about Prairie View A&M show. Once again, I was subject to, whatever that the cameraman thought that we should record or wherever that he was able to stand. And he was standing in the end zone of the back of the band, so we really could only take in so much of what Prairie View was playing. But I could hear them. They sounded great from the back, at least. You can still tell if a band sounds bad, from the back, or if a band sounds weak and puny from the back. And I heard none of that from Prairie View. It was a very good sound that I heard. They will say they were booed quite a bit. That happens when you're playing rivals. But, of course, any time that you're playing a rival, you've got to make your show so good that nobody can boo you. But you've got to force them to turn those boos into hand claps. And I've seen it done before. It just wasn't really happening this time. I think they really started to lose some ammunition, some momentum when they got to the Love and War. It just was kind of, lower in volume. And so the crowd, those low volume songs, the crowd has the opportunity to kind of, wake up and just start doing what they do. So there you have it. Right. In the meantime, so I'm still just talking and doing my thing here. I'm going to check real quick to see if I'm missing something.
Rashad, are you there?
There I am. Yeah, I've been running the show for.
I'm glad you have, man. I'm glad you have. I don't know what's going on with Skype, but I've been having a problem logging into the show, and trust me, man, I've been over here wilding out trying to get logged on, but I had to call in through my phone, and I couldn't even use the host pin to call in. But I at least was able to put you in the studio, and I'm glad that you was able to at least take over, man.
No problem, man. Did you pay the bill, Joe? Did you pay the bill, man?
Yeah.
That's always the first question that comes to us.
Yeah, man. Well, it's paid, but man, I don't know. It's definitely some technical difficulties going on with Skype right now, and I wasn't able to log in. But I see myself. I see myself through the phone, but I see you through the phone. So, man, yeah, I wanted to at least start off the show, talking about where we were. What did you start off the show tonight with so far, man?
Well, I started out talking about Bethune and Texas Southern. the Tennessee State. I just basically said there wasn't anything to say about that.
Okay.
Because I haven't seen a single clip at all.
Yeah, that game's just started probably an hour ago. So yeah, hopefully, we wanted maybe some people that may be there or some people that have seen the band through Bandcamp or anybody to get some type of clip if they knew anything about it. I've myself seen Tennessee State through their merge. They posted their merge on YouTube, and they sounded okay. They looked They looked a little bit smaller than they were last year, or maybe they're the same size. Like, of course, it's the merge, so I don't know who all was there and who all wasn't. But they sounded okay. They still coming with the same book, you know, with the same songs, and it was indoor, so like I really couldn't hear the whole band as a whole. But they still sound complete. You know, I haven't seen anything about Bethune-Cookman either. But I'm sure that they're complete as well. I haven't heard too much of a drop off of anything. But I guess it's the same with you. I guess it's still word on the street. You haven't heard too much of from either two.
No, I hadn't heard it. I hadn't heard anything at all, man.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you starting the show. This is the 90 Degree Show, brought to you by the Martian Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. Thanks for listening. If you decide what you like, if you like what you're hearing on the show, you can make a donation to the network if you feel so in your heart, of course. Simply go to themartianpodcast.com and click on the donate button to help to improve our show and build our scholarship fund. We have, as he already presented himself, as Rashard Waters, owner and founder of Block Band Music. Really appreciate him being on with us tonight, and we'll also be getting the Prunalysis from him throughout the season as well. So really appreciate him being on, and also him bringing in the show. We have, like I said, we have some technical difficulties, so apologize for the inconvenience for all the current people. We got a mad feedback right there, and somebody's microphone. I don't know if it's mine or what. Hello? Hello? I think I've lost. I don't know if I've lost sound or anything. Rashad, you still there?
Yeah, you muted me.
Yeah, it looks like, man, we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of technical difficulties going on. I don't know what's going on. I know that they've been posting stuff talking about they got all this stuff going on. The support desk is closed for Labor Day and all these other flags they've been putting on Blog Talk Radio. So obviously somebody must be messing up with something.
Somebody is cut it off and went home for the weekend.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Well, man, let me play these sponsors for us right quick. Hopefully we didn't lose too many people. I'm going to play the sponsors that help us improve our show and help build our scholarship fund. And let's go ahead and try to get these out, and then we'll talk some more about the clips that we've seen. So let's see if we can get these out, man.
All right.
Having an anniversary party, birthday party, or better yet, you're about to marry that special someone? Liquid Effects Photography is the perfect choice to immortalize all your most special moments. With 10 years of dependable professional service that can deliver from the conventional to the best in cutting-edge technology and creativity. Come experience the uniqueness of Liquid Effects Photography. We serve the entire upper Midwest and will travel further upon request. Come check us out at liquideffects.com. That's LIQUIDEFFEX.com. Or call us at 773-454-5556. That's 773-454-5556. Block Band is a minority-owned music business that you can think of as your assistant band director. We help grow your musicians with a great selection of traditional concert band music. Then we back up their performance with necessities like reeds, oil, drum heads, drumsticks, and mallets. Finally, we outfit your players in auxiliary and shoes, spats, and gloves that match our precise custom drills. Got band? If so, then Block Band's got you. Check blockbandmusic.com or call us at 919-698-2560. That's blockbandmusic.com, 919-698-2560. What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is, bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to bandhead.org. And coming this fall, hbcubands.com. Write that down, hbcubands.com.
Okay, we're back, and we really appreciate the sponsors, the people that help us improve our show, and like Rashad as well, and representing Black Band Music. We want you guys to hear those commercials and check out the people that are producing these businesses, and definitely showing them some love in the future. Okay, definitely. Let's go ahead and get into tonight's talked about matchup. First, right quick, some housekeeping. The 2013 People's Choice Awards is now live at the website. You can go there to themarchingpodcast.com and pick on what band you will believe will win tonight. Or if you saw the matchup, go there and vote and give your opinion of what happened. Last year we posted the winners of the featured matchups, and we want your participation for 2013. We'll post the results in our blog and announce the winners each week on our broadcast. Simply go to the website, and on the right-hand side, vote for the week's featured matchup. This week's matchup is the MEAC SWAC and Tennessee State and Bethune-Cookman matchup. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Rashad, what clips have you seen of Mississippi Valley State this year?
Okay, so I jumped on the fifth quarter, fifthquarter.com, of course, a great place to see that uplifts all of our entire art form here. Saw a couple clips with FAMU and Fort Valley State, Mississippi Valley State. So many schools in the valley, I tell you, it just throws you off a little bit. But I saw one abbreviated clip of Mississippi Valley State. It was basically their whole show, but in like 20-second increments, 20 seconds here, and then skip 45 seconds. So I saw a little bit here and there of them. And I saw all the Florida A&M show from the back, and also a few clips of their show from the front in the same way as I saw Mississippi Valley. So I did see enough to kind of make, some type of view on it.
Okay.
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, what did you think about Valley?
Just needs a little bit more energy on the field, a little bit more. It just got to be tighter. They drilled to torture, which we've heard, a lot. It's like everybody's got to learn it. First day of band camp, I guess. But the drill, the marching was just not that intense. We got to get those legs up a little higher. Well, perhaps their knee lift where it was at 60 degrees was there. That's where they lift their knees. But it wasn't very energetic. The tempo seemed a little slow. It just didn't really drive, Now, I will say that they sounded pretty decent. The trumpet section in particular sounded pretty good. So I would definitely give them credit for that. The trumpet section kind of put a blanket over the rest of the band, which kind of smoothed out some other things, some other issues that I may have heard in other sections. But when the whole band was playing, it sounded good, versus sections of the band, okay, but the whole band, particularly with the trumpets, screaming over or playing over top, sounded really good.
Okay. We actually have a caller, someone from the 909, someone from my neck of woods, someone calling in. Caller, go ahead and give us your name and tell us where you're calling from this evening.
Hey, what's up, Joe? It's C-Love, man, from out in Montclair.
Oh, what's going on, Chris, man? How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just wanted to come by here and tell you congratulations for the start of a new football season. Just talk to you about what I saw at the Mississippi Valley game, or lack thereof, at the FAMU game.
Oh, that's cool, man. Well, that's cool. I appreciate it, man. So go ahead.
I'm not a band.
Man. What did you see?
I wasn't a band guy. I was the dummy with the helmet on the sideline saying, "Oh, that looks good," going into halftime. So that was that's not my expertise. But I'm enjoying the conversation so far about the techniques of the band and how band camp goes, I should say.
Okay. So did you get a chance to see the MEAC SWAC challenge that was on TV? Well, I think it was on ESPN today.
Oh yeah, man. I try to catch it every year, at least the FAMU or Bethune-Cookman, especially their two games. Since I was blessed enough as a recruit, I was able to go to see FAMU play Bethune-Cookman in Orlando at the UCF Stadium in Orlando.
Okay.
When Coach Shine was there. So that was a while ago. But I was I try to keep up with both teams, man. But I saw the game, and as if anyone, and I had actually a teammate in high school. He played at Mississippi Valley State too, Pierre Marshall. Played corner there. But my God, Joe, what is Mississippi Valley State doing?
So I guess I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, man, because as a head coach, because I know he's a defensive coordinator, that's his background, but as a head coach, at a certain point in the game, you just look down the sideline and say, gee, damn it, what did we do all summer? Because the offense it was atrocious. It looked like they had no idea what they wanted to do on offense. Whatever they looked at on film, it was like it wasn't there anymore. Mm-hmm. Like FAMU just magically changed everything they did on defense to confuse their offense. It was really bad. Really.
Yeah, Valley's kind of known for, not necessarily being the cream of the crop of the conference, so to speak. But definitely, we kind of knew necessarily football-wise and even band-wise that they weren't going to really match up with FAM. But definitely from the band standpoint, it was kind of the same. It was kind of similar to the football game that I thought. Right. I didn't see Mississippi Valley State's halftime performance. I saw FAM. But I guess it was really similar to what you described. It was, it wasn't all that, so to speak. But there were some good points. I want to thank your call, Chris, because we're definitely going to get more in the analysis. But I really appreciate your call, man. I hope to hear from you and being a good listener to the show, man. I really appreciate it, man.
No problem, man. We need more of this to highlight those schools. There's talent also on the band and on the football field, and we need people to grow back to support this part of athletics, especially with the controversies and things that are going on with students and primarily African-American males that are in these sports that are basically wage slaves to a certain extent. We need to be more aware of it. So thanks for having me, man. Just want to call in and just give you a big up, man.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate the call. 718-664-6025. This is a 90 Degree Show brought to you by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. Thanks for listening. Definitely, Rashad, I was, I saw Valley. I didn't see their halftime show, but I saw Valley, I think, at maybe their band camp. Some guy, I think Real Jones or someone like that, posted some clips of them on YouTube. Mm-hmm. There's also some people, just like you said, the great fifth quarter, and I think they got the link is MEAC SWAC clips, and someone posted 4 clips of the bands marching into the stadium or at Epcot. I wanted to ask you, Rashad, how did you think FAM looked? Because I wanted to get in that before we get too deep in the analysis of Mississippi Valley State. But how did you think FAM looked? Because they weren't the traditional, 3 million people out there on the field. They look like a normal sized band. What did you think of that?
Well, Joe, I think that's the question of the night. Everybody wants to know what's going on with FAM. Their very first game making their presence again. So as far as look. Actually, they didn't look that bad. It is kind of disappointing to some extent to see, them so small like that. You just used it's like Hulk Hogan looking like, Shaggy from Scooby Doo. But if Shaggy can still fight, hey.
Right.
And FAMU did just that. Their field show, the execution of the drill was pretty good. I will go so far, Joe. I'm gonna step out on a limb here, man. I'm gonna say that they drill better as a smaller band than a bigger band. Just the way that they get places was just so much cleaner. We talked about that at our last block band meeting. In the past, FAMU has kind of been what I would call a get there band. That you 25 people just go over there, and you 60 people go over there and make a raindrop. However it is that you get there, just go make it. You guys go make a zebra. Versus this time, when they made Mickey Mouse, they were definitely moving in squads and things. So it's the idea that no matter where you take the picture, if it's at the beginning of the start of the formation or when you make the formation, it looks good. Versus in the past, it doesn't look so good until the formation is made.
Right. I totally agree, man. One thing that I definitely noticed that they look better. That is the main thing. I've always been a critic of them is they always look jumbled, and like you said, you don't know what's going on until the formation is there. But that was one great thing that I appreciated. We got another call from the 601 area code, someone from Jackson, or someone from the Mississippi area. Go ahead and give us your name and where are you calling from this evening?
This is Maurice Bennett, sir. How you doing?
Oh, what's up, Maurice? What's going on, man? How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. I had a friend that come from out of town and ended up not being able to call in on time, so I'm here.
That's cool, man. That's cool, man. Well, we started talking about Bethune-Cookman and Tennessee State, and because there wasn't too much film, and because the game is going on right now, we haven't heard too much or haven't seen too much. I saw a clip of Tennessee State at their merge. Did you see that clip?
The merge?
Yeah, at Tennessee State. They were like inside a stadium somewhere.
I only saw a little bit of it. I didn't get a chance to see a lot of it.
Okay, yeah, but they seem to have the same sound. Like nothing like jumped out to you too much different, did it?
Not really, especially for trumpet.
Right, that's what I thought. That's what I figured. What about Valley? Have you seen anything about Valley this year, Maurice?
Yeah, I saw some clips of Valley. There are some clips circulating talking about what they had on and the fact that they went back to using red berets, which was probably a bad choice on the band director's end. But as far as the sound, they actually have a pretty good sound. I looked at about 6 or 7 different clips on the internet, and I was very, very impressed. Of course, it wasn't perfect, but it was a pretty good sound that they had that I really wasn't expecting. They always have tools every year, so they did have a nice sousaphone section. But they had other sections that they don't normally have. Like I heard the baritone section was doing pretty good. The trumpet section seemed to be a little clean. They have what you call a clean sound that they haven't had in my as far as clean and loudness. They haven't had that in a few years. But
what do you think? What did you think about the bongo section?
The bongo section, huh? Well.
Exactly.
I'm assuming that when you say bongo, you're meaning their percussion section, sir?
No.
No, they had some bongos,
they had bongos, congas, cabasas. They have they got a little bit of everything out there.
Yeah, they had a clip. They had a clip on.
Not trying to take up for them, but trying to give you a little bit of history. Mississippi Valley State University is a university that's always been probably the only premier SWAC band that actually did have DCI movements or court-style movements in their shows. So their band director, even though he is a Jacksonian, he played the trumpet section at Jackson State. Their band director actually is still trying to keep them at keep some of their roots there. You might not remember this, but if you go back and look at some old tapes of Valley, like in the early 90s, and late 80s, Valley was doing straight-up DCI drill movements and feet movements as far as their marching style on the feet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
They're trying to keep that there by having some of that stuff, that sideline stuff that we would normally see in the DCI band. They're trying to still make a connection with the old Valley and bring the new in. So that's the reason why.
But it wasn't on the sidelines.
I know. It wasn't.
Because the dude with the conga was I saw this clip. Yeah, I saw. Well, I don't know. I didn't see them on the field, but what I did see a clip of them at Epcot Center, and the whole band was jamming, and they were on the sidelines, and the whole drum line was jamming. They were doing their thing, and there was a bongo player with a bongo strapped to his chest, and he was doing his thing, man.
Yeah, that surprised me. That's the thing that surprised me, because on the fifth quarter, you see that someone put, the clips of, them marching in the Epcot, and I think like the pep rally clips. And that surprised me was, when you got to the drum section there at Valley, it was, the congos, like, it was surprising. And to have marching apparatuses, you know what I mean? That's what got me. I was like, wow, that they marching with them. But as far as for Valley, man, I thought they came with some confidence.
Right.
Somebody might have some feedback. I think I'm getting something in my phone, but I thought that Valley, I thought that they were coming with some confidence. I didn't think that their high brass was all that. Like Maurice said, they always come in with the tubas, so like that low brass was there, but they definitely had some spunk in those band tape. Those band camp clips that I saw of them. I had heard them playing Hey, and I saw them at the Epcot Center at the pep rally. So, they were coming with some confidence. But I'm not sure as far as like the battle because I didn't see the halftime show. But just based on GP, I would kind of like to see Florida A&M and Mississippi Valley go at it back and forth, even though I think FAM would win just based on what we've seen. I'll go ahead and take it to you next, Rashad. What did you think about FAM other than the new size and how they looked on the field? What did you think about their sound as it compares to Valley?
I thought the sound was good. I think their sound was, I think somebody put it best on the fifth, that the range of their songs and the volume of their songs fit well for a band of their size. You know, so I think they sounded, pretty good. When they opened up with 20th Century Fanfare, it sounded the same. It was obviously much, much smaller, but it didn't sound puny. So I would definitely give credit for that. Unfortunately, I didn't really get the chance to see a lot of them playing. Most of the stuff I heard from them playing was from the back. And I really would like to see some Jeff Porter clips between the two bands. But let me throw this out here real quick, Jeff, if I got a moment.
Just make sure somebody got some extra background or like either someone's computer is loud because we're getting like some background feeds. So you guys just check your backgrounds right quick. Okay, go ahead. Go, Rashad.
Well, one thing I learned about, I learned a little something about the art form of Showstop Band itself by watching FAMU's show. At the end of the show, when they got into their dance routine, FAM is known for getting into a dance block, playing a couple songs, and then shifting to something else, like making a Nike shoe on the field when they play Air Force Ones, or making a SUV on the field when they play Still Fly. And they didn't do that this time. And I was watching the audience's reaction, to their show when they were just basically standing there dancing. The audience reaction wasn't really all that. And what I learned from that is that, you know what, in your dance block, we really need to start moving that thing around. Because dance block, if you're not up close from the band, because the person that was filming from the back, and they would look like they were a good distance away from the band. So at that situation, you can't really hear what they're playing that well. And as far as their movements are concerned, really it just kind of looks like an ironing board, just kind of moving up and down, it's moving left and right. It's a hype ironing board, and it doesn't really get the crowd hype. And I think it would have been much better, as FAMU has done in the past, play a couple songs, then take the dance routine and, do something else, move the shape into something else. I think helps to keep that excitement going. And that's something that I think that all bands could really go for, because right now it seems like the dance routine a lot of times is the lowest part of the show.
Wow. Okay. Maurice, did you get a chance to check out FAM show, or have you seen or heard of them at all this year yet?
I have not, but I definitely plan to. I'm probably not going to be so critical because I'm just happy the program is back, man. And I guess some things are to be expected for them to change, because I don't think if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they have anybody on the staff that was there previously, do they?
No, yes, they have a few actually.
Oh, they do? Okay. So that's maybe okay. You're talking about the band staff. My bad.
Right, band staff.
Okay, my bad. I thought you were talking about the students, because I know a lot of the students are gone. The old students, rather. No,
I don't. I was almost positive they didn't have any old students. I would think they would.
Right. Yeah, I actually saw. That's another thing.
I do agree with. I think that was Rashad. Am I saying your name right? I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, that's me. You got it.
I do agree with him that the dance routines are basically the most boring part of the show, and I think that the main reason why that is because there is no connection of the person that's in the sound booth. That's number one, with the band. Number two, I don't think bands realize that the I guess you can say the stuff that they have on that is supposed to be the flashiness of the uniform. Those things are the things that they should have or have in place to move a lot whenever they're dancing, so the crowd can see exactly what they're doing. And I'm gonna say, FAM used to do a real good job of that. Like in the late '80s and the early '90s, man, they had a lot of shows where they'd have a lot of movement, and they'd use that white and use that the parts of their uniform that actually would let the crowd know what they're doing. But let me tell you who does a real good job of that now. Bethune-Cookman does a real good job of using the uniform and placing those movements. Man, and I'm telling you, when you can get a 300-pound person to do a movement just as fast or as quick as a 140-pound person, you've accomplished something. I'm sorry. I just had to put it out there.
Well, that's what's up. We're going to take one last commercial break. We're going to play our sponsors one more time. And then we're going to go ahead and we're not going to wrap up the show, but we'll go into the last block where we'll get, your analysis. Really good talk on this block, just talking about dance routine and some really good information from you, Rashad. I'm going to go ahead and play these sponsors for one last time. We'll let listeners know how they can sponsor the show or they can be a patron to the show there in the future. And then we'll go to the last block with a final analysis from the MEAC Swag Challenge or any other bands that we may have seen on the internet. We'll leave it open. And also open to your calls at 718-664-6025. This is the 90 Degree Show brought to you by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. Let's hear from our sponsors.
Having an anniversary party, birthday party, or better yet, you're about to marry that special someone? Liquid Effects Photography is the perfect choice to immortalize all your most special moments. With 10 years of dependable professional service that can deliver from the conventional to the best in cutting-edge technology and creativity. Come experience the uniqueness of Liquid Effects Photography. We serve the entire upper Midwest and will travel further upon request. Come check us out at liquideffects.com. That's LIQUIDEFFEX.com. Or call us at 773-454-5556. That's 773-454-5556. Attention high school directors and alumni. What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. Attention high school directors and alumni. Does your band need to raise money to travel, buy instruments, or uniforms? Are you looking to raise money to help your band? Well, Big Deal Fundraising is rapidly becoming one of the largest distributors of fundraising products in the industry. Big Deal is based in New York City and ships anywhere in the United States, offering quality products, fast delivery, and innovative consultation that will help you meet your fundraising goals. Call today at 855-244-4430 or visit us at BigDealFundraisingUSA.com. Big Deal Fundraising, your fundraising partner for your band or music ensemble. What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to bandhead.org. And coming this fall, hbcubands.com. Write that down, hbcubands.com. Block Band is a minority-owned music business that you can think of as your assistant band director. We help grow your musicians with a great selection of traditional concert band music. Then we back up their performance with necessities like reeds, oil, drum heads, drumsticks, and mallets. Finally, we outfit your players and auxiliary in shoes, spats, and gloves that match our precise custom drills. Got band? If so, then Block Band's got you. Check blockbandmusic.com or call us at 919-698-2560. That's blockbandmusic.com, 919-698-2560.
Okay, we're back, and we really appreciate the people who are listening. 718-664-6025. This is the 90 Degree Show brought to you by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. Thanks for listening. Rashad, are you still there?
Yeah, man. You said the other guy. Is that Maurice? Is that the other guy?
Yeah, Maurice. Yeah, we're having some problems. The studio bumped him out, and we'll try to get him back on here in a second. But definitely, hopefully, we'll get him back here on the air so we can finish up our analysis. So here in the last block, go ahead, Rashad. Give me the breakdown of what you believe, just based on, I guess, like what you've seen. And I guess, because I'm sure there was a little bit of a battle of the bands or like a pep rally that they had. And I saw a little bit of the bands performing in that. I guess overall here, I guess we get to the nitty-gritty. Who do you think won this matchup between the two bands?
On the field show, I would definitely say FAMU was the better band. I was very excited to hear one of our newest members of Block Band is actually a graduate of FAM, and he was telling me that the person that's actually running the practices and things is the same person that was running it from before. The band director is new, but the person who's running practice is still the same. So I was excited to see that FAM was basically, for the most part, basically the same band. They seem to be pretty tight, in some of the things that they were doing. They're not perfect yet, but it's the first game. So I would give the halftime show definitely to FAM. Beyond that, I really couldn't say. I really didn't necessarily like anything that I heard from the Epcot Center stuff. Actually, when they played ESPN at the beginning of ESPN, wow, Woodwind sounded great. But beyond that, not so much. So I really couldn't say much about how the bands would have done, out beyond the game, because of course the halftime battle is only part of it.
Right. Well, definitely based on what I saw from the halftime show, I guess I would have to go with FAM and their halftime show as well. Just traditionally knowing Valley, they are not as precise as you would think to be, but if this had been any other year, I know Valley would be normally more precise than FAM. I definitely would say Valley would win in a field show over the FAM just because, unless FAM is like, animating, making a train and making the wheels turn, I don't like the formations because they look jumbled. But this year, I have to go along with everything you just said, man. In the previous segment, just talking about how they look kind of good now, with that smaller size. And they made that Mickey, even though I didn't really like the formation, I thought the formation itself was ugly, but it was really, really clean. They look good on the field, man. I think that with what they have now, I think definitely people should be aware because, FAM has always had, like, the good sound and kind of the, hey, we're FAM, we can put whatever we want on the field. But now it looks a lot more clean. It looks a lot more accurate. As far as their sound, from what I heard from the two bands and the pep rallies and whatnot, I think FAM still has a clean and accurate sound. You can still tell that they have those same musicians, learning Flight of the Bumblebee and, all the technicalities of, musicality. You can still tell that those guys are still there in the band. And I just think that they're missing a lot of the bass. Bethune and FAM have that concert band type of sound where it's like complete from top to bottom, I think they're just missing a lot of that bass. You know what I mean? A lot of that hum and a lot of that stereo sound that, put them on the map. And like you said, it's probably earlier in the year, and as the year goes, it'll come more, or even as they continue to rebuild, it'll add more. One of the things I saw on fifth quarter right quick was a blog post, and it's called Rattler Nation. And the blog post was from yesterday, and it said that 70% of the band is new. And they said that, they made sure they got out all of the article calls it the wannabe thug groups and like clones. They talked about Gestapo and the Screaming Demons. They put a lot of the so-called aliases on display here in this blog, and they said that, they wanted to make sure they started clean. Do you think that they look good and that they're going in a good direction, Rashad?
Yeah, I think they're going in a good direction. I think they're going to get trounced next week. I just continue to say that. I'm just going to put that out there, that this is just going to be fun for Tennessee State. And honestly, based on where they are right now, I'll just put this out here as well. I'm just going to lay it out there on the table, and I'm going to walk away from it. They're going to be trounced against Bethune-Cookman this year as well. And, but sometimes you need a good trouncing. Don't get me wrong. I think they're going to represent themselves well. I think they're going to, try to get it together. But right now, their sound is good but small, and Bethune's sound is it's huge. You know.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna, you know, and I know with those announcers, it's gonna lay it on them. It ain't gonna be pretty for that last game. But I think these two games, and possibly the game against South Carolina State as well, are going to be the, you know, what the band needs. Because right now they're getting a lot of sunshine. You know, they're getting a lot of praise from the directors and the training that they need. But you got to have rain too in order to grow. And so Tennessee State's going to bring the rain. South Carolina State, Bethune are going to bring the rain. You know what I'm saying?
And they're going to be ready for them, too, because this is years and years of, you know, fighting with FAM and FAM having that full number, all those numbers and all that swag. But you can definitely tell now that they're not as confident going out. You know, they're happy. People are happy, like you said, the sunshine, people are happy back. But they don't have that same confidence going out there. You know, I even felt that they were even marching better in their halftime show, something I've never really noticed from fans. But they're trying to put more of that effort there because they know that their confidence is coming. And I would agree with you. I'm really interested to see how they perform against Tennessee State. I definitely think Bethune is waiting for them, though. Yeah, that you know,
Bethune is waiting for them.
They did, like. It's like, I think the one year they told, like, they get shit up on the field or they had their hand up or something. Because Sam, man, they had all them numbers. They'll do some of everything to you. But, yeah, but Bethune is going to be waiting for them this year. And we'll see. Hey, we could be wrong. We'll see. But at least Sam is coming better with a lot more accuracy. And, I mean, they look good. You know what I mean?
No, we ain't going to be wrong. we ain't going to be wrong about that.
I heard that, man. I heard that. Well, man, it's been good, you know, talking to you, and it was leaving the line open a little bit more just in case someone wants to call in. Just want to let people know if you want to sponsor the show or if you want to play your ad for your business over the air, just contact the show to become a sponsor, and we'll help you out, and we'll give you the criteria of letting all those things know. Again, we also have the 2013 People's Choice Awards. Go to the Marching Pod to vote. Anything else out there, go to our blog, follow our blog, the number 4.themarchingpodcast.com. Next week, we're still looking around the schedule. We haven't come up with a couple of good games on the radar. You know, we talked about them in our first show, but we still have a couple of things we'll be dropping the bomb on you guys probably on Tuesday to let you know what the featured matchup is for next week. But it'll definitely be something interesting. Well, I'm sure that we'll be talking about FAM and Tennessee State. They play next week, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I'm sure that, you know, if some clips come out of what we see from this weekend, I'm sure there'll be more conversation about it. But definitely we'll let you guys know what will be coming out in the future. One last housekeeping thing. One of our sponsors, Tyrone Brown, he chopped it up with us, I think last month. He's also the owner and founder of Big Deal Fundraising out of New York, one of the original Brooklyn Steppers. He now is starting a radio show called Minding Our Own Business, or Minding Your Own Business, excuse me. He is having a business podcast where he just wants to collect people with the minds of like attainments and like business acumens, and they're going to talk about, you know, entrepreneurship and putting things on the line and experiences that they go through. And the Marching Podcast is happy to support that industry as well. You'll be hearing some of the same commercials that you hear here and there on their Blog Talk radio podcast as well. And he also has his own sponsors as well. So it'll be a good thing to go ahead and check him out. I think he'll be coming on Sundays, I believe, at like 7 Eastern time. So probably an hour before we go live with the 90 Degree Show, he'll be playing some of those things, getting those people in entrepreneurship spirits. So at the end here, I want to give Rashad, I know I want to give you some time to either advertise and talk about anything you got coming up. Do you have anything coming up on the radar or anything that's any other matchups that you're looking forward to in the future?
Well, let's see here. Advertising, just real quick, man. I was very excited that Block Band had multiple bands that were representing us last Friday. High school bands. So of course we deal with high school bands. So I wanted to just give a shout out to all the bands. I hope I don't forget anyone. But I was at the Southern High School and Hillside game in Durham, North Carolina. Southern High School is one of our customers there. Also, I want to give a shout-out to IC Norcom High School, who is doing several pieces of music. I think their whole halftime show is from us. A shout-out to Highland Springs High School, who purchased some drum heads from us, as well as to McCormick High School, whose whole show, their drill, and their music is from Block Band. McKinley High School, who is a core-style high school out of Canton, Ohio, who is doing a show, a couple songs from us. Brunswick High School out of Virginia. My goodness, I could go on and on and on. Rocky Mount High School, core-style high school out of Rocky Mount, North Carolina, whose whole show is from us, as well as, I just got a couple more, and then we'll go back to talking. Lakewood High School out of Petersburg, St. Pete, Florida, whose whole show was coming from us, as well as several stand songs. Bertie High School out of Hertford, North Carolina, who's doing several songs from us. Dominguez High School out of California, Compton, California, straight out of Compton, whose whole show was coming from us. And of course, Southeast Halifax High School, as well as John Marshall High School out of Halifax and Richmond, Virginia, who's we have done both of their whole shows as well, as far as music is concerned. So I hope I didn't leave anybody out. I know I did. If I did, I love you as well, and I know you'll make me pay for it. I know that you will. And of course we get also bands, particularly Dillon High School, who get all their shoes for both their instrumentalists and also their dancers from us as well. So just want to give love to all those programs who are working really hard. You band directors are doing the right thing by getting our kids excited about music, excited about culture, about exercise and discipline and school. And there are many kids that are going to go on to college simply because of their experience in the band. Many of them would not have had that opportunity. So as Joe is playing the music for me here, I just want to say, great.
Well, you got time. You got time to talk.
You want to hit up? I'll pull out the trombone. I'll play Rolling Thunder now. I played how at the tempo we used to play it. But anyway, Texas Southern versus Prairie View. That was a good matchup. I did see that. I actually at the beginning of the show I talked about that a little bit, Joe.
Oh, okay.
So you can, when you review the clips and everything, you had the chance for me to talk about that. But it was good. I think Prairie View is going to be a band to be reckoned with in the near future. Of course, they're going to have to get their recruiting up. But I think they're getting their foundation. Anytime that you have a change in band director and a change in the overall sound, it takes a while, good or bad, it takes a while to mine out whatever was there in the past. North Carolina A&T was a prime example of that. A&T in the 90s and early 2000s had a certain sound, and since they're with the coming of Dr. Ruff as the current band director and Thomas Jones as their head arranger, it has taken them a long time to get that sound, that power, just unbelievable, I'm just going to unleash on you type of sound out. They're still loud now, but they have a lot more control. Well, the same thing is happening with Prairie View. Prairie View's band director, Dr. Zachary, I want to say, is a Norfolk State person and has a very different sound than what was happening down there before. So it seems like the band is smaller, I think, from last year to this year. But I think they probably maybe sound better than maybe they did last year. And I think that's going to continue to grow.
My bad. We got Maurice back on the line. Maurice, if you can hear me, man, I think we got a little feedback from you on your end. But go ahead and I want to go ahead and give you some time, and the music can play, but you can go ahead and talk. But go ahead and let us know, man. What do you think? Who won between that Florida A&M and that Mississippi Valley battle matchup?
I actually did get a chance to review that battle, sir.
Well, what do you think, just based on what you know?
Hello?
based on what you know and based on the things that you've seen this year, who do you think would probably win that battle?
I believe FAMU is probably going to pull it off. Man, Valley is what you call an up and coming band right now. They are very, very slept on. A lot of people are making jokes and stuff about them. I'm actually going to see them. I'm going up there for the entire weekend to Greenwood myself, to Itta Bena. I'm going to see them up and in personal for 3 whole days in practices in the band room and on the field. So I'm actually interested in what those band directors are doing because of their better sound, but I had to give it to Fam. I think Fam will probably, they're fresh, they're bad, they're hype. They have what you call an increased happiness, probably in, I guess you could say, a better adrenaline being pumped through their bodies because of the hype of them coming back as a band. So that alone is probably going to push them over the mark, and they're going to win that battle.
Yeah, I totally agree. We all totally agree, and we're all on the same page. So I really appreciate the time, really appreciate the experts having the time in. Hopefully next week we will get this all worked out with all the technical difficulties and all Skype. I'm going to go ahead and play the exit music one more time to wrap it up for sure. But again, always appreciative to the great Maurice Bailey, and also appreciative to the great Rashad Waters of the great Block Band Music. That's all the time we have for the show. Check out the website and donate what's in your heart to themarchingpodcast.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Thanks to you for listening. And remember, the eye is a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Advice may be misleading, but examples are always clear. See you next time.